وقل رب زدني علما.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهديه الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، شر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. We have the class, inshallah, from the book of Shaykh al-Allama, Shaykh Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymin rahimahullah, منظومة أصول الفقه وقواعده. منظومة أصول الفقه وقواعده. We're going to start from number 31. From number 31. Last night there were a lot of copies here. The owner took it back, or somebody is using it? Who was taken? Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay, that is good. I thought they may. طيب. So number 31. قال المؤلف رحمه الله: إن يجتمع مع مبيح ما منع فقدما تغليبا الذي منع، وكل حكم فلعلة تبع، إن وجدت يوجد وإلا يمتنع، وألغ كل سابق لسببه لا شرطه فدر الفروق وانتبه، والشيء لا يتم إلا أن تتم شروطه ومانع منه عدم، والظن في العبادة المعتبر ونفس الأمر في العقود اعتبروا، لكن إذا تبين الظن خطأ فأبرئ الذمة صحح الخطأ، كرجل صلى قبيل الوقت فليعيد الصلاة بعد الوقت، والشك بعد الفعل لا يؤثر، وهكذا إذا الشكوك تكثر، أو تك وهما مثل وسواس فدع، لكل وسواس يجي به لكع، ثم حديث النفس معفو فلا حكم له ما لم يؤثر عملا. The Shaykh rahimahullah ta'ala said, يجتمع مع مبيح ما منع فقدما تغليبا الذي منع. If two texts, a text which making something permissible and another text which making that thing impermissible, in this case you give the precedence the one which makes it impermissible, to be safe side. So يجتمع مع مبيح ما منع. Here you have a proof which makes, you have a dalil which makes this thing mubih. It mubihis. It allows. And you have ma mana, that which prohibits, which prohibits. So two texts, one mubih, it allows. The other one hadir, it prohibits. You take the one, you act upon the one prohibits. Therefore the hadith, but that's when you have the texts. دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. Leave that which causes you to be in a state of doubtful to that which doesn't, which you are not in doubtful. فَمَنِ اتَّقَى الشُّبُهَاتِ فَقَدِ اسْتَبْرَأَ لِدِينِهِ وَعِرْضِهِ. But here, if you have two texts, one shows the permissibility of this thing, the other one shows the impermissibility of it. Give the precedence, the one which makes it impermissible. The Shaykh said, وَكُلُّ حُكْمٍ فَلِعِلَّةٍ تَبِعٍ إِنْ وُجِدَتْ يُوجَدْ وَإِلَّا يَمْتَنِعْ. Every ruling in the Sharia follows its purpose, it is reason, why it was legislated. إِنْ وُجِدَتْ يُوجَدْ وَإِلَّا يَمْتَنِعْ. If it's found, means the purpose, the reason, then that ruling is found. If the reason is not found, then the ruling is not found. What does that mean? Allah Azza wa Jal, subhanahu wa ta'ala, forbade the khamr because of the al-iskar, intoxication. So wherever there is intoxication, then the rule goes. So the rule goes with its purpose, with its reason. The deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, all of it is based on a reason. Based on hikmah, wisdom, there is a reason. It has a reason. That's why Allah legislated. So if that reason exists, the rule exists. If that reason is not there anymore, the rule is not anymore there. It goes with it. They say in قاعدة الحكم يدور مع علة وجودا أو عدما. The rule goes back with its reason, with what cause to legislate it. If that cause is found, the rule is there. If that cause is not anymore there, the rule is not there. That is the origin. Unless there is a proof saying the other. Therefore, when Allah revealed the ayah about the permissibility of shortening the prayer, when traveling and there is fear, and the fear was not anymore. Muslims, Allah gave them safety and authority. Umar, he asked, "Oh, the Messenger of Allah, now there is no fear." Prophet ﷺ, he said, "It's sadaqatun tasaddaqa Allahu biha alaykum faqbalu sadaqatahu." It is charity from Allah. Even though the reason is not there now, there's no fear, but still go on. It's Allah made it easy for you. So Umar, he was going by the origin. This has a reason. The reason is not there. Sometimes the reason, the hikmah, the wisdom behind legislating this rule is known to the people. Sometimes it's not known. When you go by it, is when the rule is, when the illah, the reason is known. But if the reason is not known, then you don't take rule from that. For instance, the Dhuhr prayer is 4 rak'ah and Fajr is 2 rak'ah. The reason is not known to the people. It's only by Allah who knows it. Therefore, you cannot take rule on that. But why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Azza wa Jal forbade such thing, for instance, drinking alcohol, is because it causes intoxication. So wherever there is intoxication, it takes the rule. It's not allowed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade to say to the child to say to his parent, "Uff," means a word of disliking or showing disrespect. The reason is known. Why Allah forbade that? Because that hurts the parents. What does that mean? Everything which hurts the parents is not allowed. You don't say Allah say don't say bad word. Astaghfirullah, I'm using my hand. A'udhu billah. That's more worse. Allah forbade saying that word because it hurts the parents. That's the reason. You're hurting them. How about you doing bigger than that? Na'am akhi. Yes, excellent. Barakallahu fiqh. Some people, when they do something new, which was not existing at the time of Prophet ﷺ, and the people of knowledge said this is not allowed. They say this is not mentioned in Quran. Smoking is not in Quran. Where is dukhan in tadkhin in Quran? It's not even hadith. So how come you say this against Islam or this is with Islam? Because these people, they do not know that the ulama are coming from where Allah mentioned subhanahu wa ta'ala the rule is a rule for hikmah, for reason. If that reason is there, then the ruling is there. A woman said, oh, the Messenger of Allah, upon my father, there was Hajj on my father. The Hajj was mandatory on my father. But before he performed it, he died. Do I make Hajj on behalf of him? Prophet ﷺ said, how about if there would have been death on your father? Would you pay on behalf of him? She said, yes. Prophet ﷺ said, فَالدَّيْنُ اللَّهِ حَقُّ أَنْ يُقْضَى. Yani the reason is, this is, the hikmah is, this is, there is a right on this person. Even though this one is another issue. But the point is the rule goes with the, for instance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the person who is sick to break the fast. Okay. So you break the fasting because of sickness yesterday. Today you are not sick. The rule is not there because you break the fasting because of sickness. If there is sickness, if the Sahaba break the fasting because they were sick, whoever our time gets sick, break the fast because the reason is the same. Allah made subhanallah legislate to break the fasting because of the difficulty, because of the hardship, because of the sickness. The rule goes to everybody. So the rule goes with it is reason. If the reason is found, the rule is found. Alcohol was left outside and it turned to normal water. No intoxication, and not somebody made it by itself. Yani Allah made it through to the sun or somewhere. Now there is no scar, there is no intoxication. Nothing of it. It just turned to normal water, the rule goes. They urinate, they pee, they clean it. They clean it. Or a cup of urinate pee, for instance. They put it put it inside the ocean. Is there urinate anymore? No, the rule changed. There is no rule. Don't say there is urinate. There is no urinate here. Urinate has qualities, has some description. There's not anymore. The rule goes with it. And the like. So the rule goes with the hikmah, with the reason. If the reason is there, yes. If not, it's not. Many examples. Then the Shaykh said, who give us example in that point before we move? More clear example. That the rule goes with the reason. If the reason is there, the rule is there. If the reason is not there, the rule is not there. Yes. Yes. Very good. Excellent. Barakallahu fiqh. Ahsant. The ruling, barakallahu fiqh. Yes, the ruling, Allah forbade whatever hurts the person. Your health, your property, your intellect, your religion, all that has to be removed. Your honor. So whatever affects your health, لا يجوز. ولا تلقوا بأيديكم إلى التهلكة ولا تقتلوا أنفسكم. Okay? So if smoking causes you into diseases, into sickness and into death, لا يجوز. It's not allowed. Because of the reason لا ضرر ولا ضرار. لا ضرر ولا ضرار. No hurting. No hurting or not being harmed. So if this kind of food cause sickness to you, the milk, let alone something else, the milk, goat milk or whatever milk bother you yourself, you get allergy. So by the time you use it, you cannot breathe anymore. Now this is not allowed for you, haram. لا يجوز, because you're hurting yourself. Why? The rule goes with that. Is this understandable? So yes. So if it is proved that smoking cause someone to die, it cause somebody's kidney or liver not to function, cause such and such, the same thing. طيب. Then the Shaykh said, وألغي كل سابق لسببه لا شرطه فدر الفروق وانتبه. This بيت وألغي كل سابق لسبب لا شرطه فدر الفروق وانتبه. Disregard or cancel out everything which is before it is cause, not before it is condition. Maybe through example you understand. A Muslim, the person who is muhrim, he's making hajj or making umrah, he's not allowed to cut his hair. He's not allowed. But if he gets sick, he has disease on his hair, if they don't shave the hair, he gets sick. He's not recovering. He continue having pain. He's allowed to shave it. And there is expiation for it, to slaughter. Now, so the cause of the expiation is ماذا? The cause of the expiation is يعني is the cause. This is to that he if this person shave his hair, then he has to make expiation. Can he pay the expiation before he has the sickness? Then no. Because this is before the cause of the ruling. The cause, before the cause of the expiation, he cannot. But if he has the disease and he is about to shave, before he shave, he can pay the expiation. But before he gets sick, he cannot. The cause and the condition. The Shaykh Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala said, لو أن الإنسان أحرم بحج أو عمرة فخاف أن يحتاج إلى حلق رأسه لأذى فيه فقدم الفدية قبل وجود الأذى فإن ذلك لا يجزئه لأنه لم يوجد سبب الوجوب. ولو أنه وجد الأذى وقدم الفدية قبل حلق الرأس جاز لوجود السبب وإن لم يوجد الشرط. وإن فدى بعد أن حلق رأسه فهذا قد أدى العبادة بعد وجوب سبب وشرط فجاز. The Sheikh said, if the person enters the ihram of Hajj or Umrah, then he fear that he may need to shave his hair because of sickness. So based on that, he made the expiation before the sickness. That will not suffice him. Means if he gets sick after that, still he has to make the expiation. Still he has to slaughter. Or fast, or because he made the expiation before the cause, before what made mandatory, which was the sickness, even take place. But after he gets sick, what make the expiation mandatory is there. But yet he didn't shave the hair, which is the condition of the expiation. Then he said, the Shaykh, فإن ذا لا يوجد لأنه لم يوجد سبب الوجوب, because what made this rule mandatory of expiation is not found yet. But if he would have get sick and then he make the expiation before shaving the hair, now it's permissible. Likewise, the zakah. The zakah, in order zakah to be mandatory, you have to have what the ulama call milkun nisab. You have to have the limit of the wealth. But in order to pay it, also to be mandatory, you have to have the year round. The year round. So before you have the milkun nisab, before you have the limit of the wealth, which you should have to pay zakah, you cannot pay it. And if you do that and later you get the limit, you have to still pay the zakah. But before you get the limit, but the year didn't complete yet, you can pay ahead of time. For instance, you have seen a poor who really need, and you have the nisab, you have 40, let me say 40 goats. 40 goats. But you see that, but not, there's no 1 year round. You only have 6 months. Now you can give it this poor, 1 goat. And it will be your zakah. But before, you don't have the milk nisab, you have only 39 or less. And you see the poor. You cannot give a goat to the poor as being zakah. Because yet it's not, what costs to be mandatory is not there. المهم طيب على كل. Then the Shaykh rahimahullah ta'ala said, so know the difference between the making the expiation before the cause of the mandatory and before the condition. It is condition. As for before it is condition, you can make it, but you cannot make it before it is cause, before what make it mandatory. Then the Shaykh says, وَالشَّيْءُ لَا يَتِمُّ إِلَّا أَن تَتِمُّ شُرُوطُهُ وَمَانِعٌ مِنْهُ عُدِمٌ. The rule is not going to be complete except if it is conditions. Is there, is available, and there is no, and the it is preventions are not there, are not existing. Means, in order something to be judged, to be ruled, there are conditions. And also there has to be an existence of what prevents that rule to be applied. For instance, someone to inherit someone who died from the reason is to be his son. So the son inherits his father. This is a condition to be qualified to inherit someone, to be your father. But here there is mane. There is something preventing it. Which is, for instance, this son has a different religion than the father. The father was a Muslim. The son is not Muslim. He is not inheriting him. So the condition was to be the son, for instance. But in order that condition to be applied, there shouldn't be prevention. There shouldn't be something stopping it. So that has to be removed. For instance, this has so many examples because it's very big qaida. Allah mentioned in the Quran that the one who killed a believer intentionally, وَمَن يَقْتُلْ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمُ خَالِدًا فِيهَا. That person is aboard. His punishment is going to be Jahannam, and he will be forever in Jahannam. Allah is mad at him. Allah prepared for him. So somebody, he killed someone. Now this is the rule. He killed someone intentionally, wrongly. These are the consequences. But in order these consequences to take place, there shouldn't be prevention, something preventing that rule, which is like he repents. Repentance is mane. He didn't repent. Another prevention is he's a Muslim. He's upon Tawheed. And Allah mentioned in Quran that anyone who commits shirk, disbelief, Allah is not forgiven. Other than shirk, it is to Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive, not to forgive. So in order that rule be applied, there should be the conditions, the existence of the conditions, and on the other hand, removal of the prevention. There is no prevention. Okay. From what takes someone from Islam is to slander Allah Azza wa Jal, to say bad about Allah. This is the conditions. In order the person to be judged, he left Islam. But there is a prevention. That has to be made sure. From that is that this is not mistake. He didn't do this out of mistake. If he does out of mistake, or he was not enforced. They say, we shoot you, or you say this. His iman, his heart is full of iman. He burning in his heart to say this word of kufr. But he feared for his life. Now, that rule will not be applied, that he left Islam, because there is prevention. And the like. And the like. So many rules. Someone, he fell into shirk. He fell into shirk. That is the condition of someone leaving Islam. But here there is prevention. He doesn't know it. Al-Jahl. Then he will not be held into account because he doesn't know it. For instance, so many issues. There has to be conditions, and there shouldn't be what stops that condition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, in order your right, the person's actions be accepted, has conditions. That condition has to be met first. Is to do it for the sake of Allah and to do it according to the way of the Prophet ﷺ. So no shirk and no innovation. No, the conditions, no. The conditions is the amal, yes, to be for the sake of Allah and to be mada, and to be for the sake of Allah and to be according to the Sunnah. Someone, he did righteous actions, but there is something stopping to accept his action, which is the shirk. Okay. Very clear example. Salah has conditions. This person, he fulfill all the conditions. He make wudu. The conditions, you know it. But there has to be, he has to avoid the mawane. Before he make taslim out, he break the wudu. Now, the salah is invalid. You don't say, I make wudu, I face the qibla. Yes, but the condition, there has to be, you have to avoid the mawane. Which is, until the salah finish, you have to be in that state. المهم طيب. Someone who sell something, and by the way, not only the last one, the conditions also has to be there. The condition has to be there, one thing. On the other hand, in order to judge, to give a ruling on this issue, the conditions has to be there. And also, the preventions must be not existing. So for salah, somebody pray, he didn't make wudu. Can we judge that he prayed salah properly? No, why? Because there is no one of the conditions. Okay, that's one thing. Now he make the conditions. But what happened is that he fell into mane. He break it. Salah, still we cannot judge. So there has to be conditions, and on the other hand, there should be a removal of prohibition. There shouldn't be something objecting to that. طيب. Someone, he sell something he doesn't, he sell. The Sheikh Uthaymeen, he gives this example. Somebody, he pray. But he pray other than the direction of the Qibla. Is his salah valid? Yes? No, because he missing what? A condition, which is to face the Qibla. Okay, he faced the Qibla, he make all the conditions. But the time he pray is a time which is not allowed. He pray after Asr, open prayer. He was sitting, he said, let me just make sunnah. Or he pray when the sun is in the middle of the sky. Now all the conditions is there, but it's not allowed because there is something preventing it. طيب. Somebody, in order to judge, he is not a Muslim, he has to fail one of the nullifiers of Islam. This is a condition. There has to be conditions of judging him. That is, he has to fall into one of the nullifiers. If you want to say he's a kafir and he even didn't make any nullifier, it's wrong. There's no conditions. Condition has to be found. If the condition is found, but as we said, he was enforced, he didn't know it, and the like, then. So you have to look these two things in order to come up with a rule. If there's no conditions, no rule. If there are conditions, but there's prevention to apply the rule, there's no rule. Okay, the Shaykh Uthaymeen, they give example. Somebody who gives his zakah to somebody he knows he's rich. Is his zakah accepted? No. Because, yes. Somebody who sells someone else's stuff, which doesn't, something belongs to somebody else. Is this transaction valid? No. You sell my car to someone without my permission. It's not valid. Why? Because one of the conditions of selling, you have to own or you have to represent the owner. Now, you own it. The conditions are there. But what happened is, someone who sell is all the conditions there, he own everything. After the adhan of Friday was made, he heard the adhan of Friday. He is of those who are being called male, healthy, because it's not mandatory on women and sick people. He's not traveler. He's a resident. After that, he continues selling. The conditions of selling is there. He is the owner. This is known to the person. What he get is known. All the conditions, 7 conditions, still is not valid. Because there is money. There is something preventing to accept that, which is that's this time. You're being called wadarul bay'. Stop the bay'. A woman married without the permission of her guardian. A man and woman, they understand one another. They say, they call 2 of their friends and they say, witness this. And the guy say, I marry you. She said, I accept, fine. Is that marriage valid? No. Why? Because the condition of marriage, the woman to have the permission of the guardian. It's a condition. So there has to be the condition to rule the existence of this marriage. One of it is the existence of the permission of the wali. There is a wali. But she married, the wali is there, the 2 witnesses are there, everything is agreed upon. The 4 conditions of marriage, permission of the wali, the acceptance of both male and female who can marry one another, the witnesses, the statement of I marry you, this have you accepted, I accepted. All this is complete. But one thing happened. This woman he is going to marry, she's already married. So there is money, there is prevention, there's a prevention. Is this understandable? So it's not existing. And this happened, by the way. Subhanallah. Sometimes it happens because of ignorance. A man divorces his wife. Then he has the waiting period, 3 waiting period. He can return her in that, even if she doesn't accept, if it's after the first divorce or after the second. So he said to her, I return you back. She said, no. Allah free me from you. You cannot return. He said, I return you back, and I already witnessed to it. She said, it is you, what you doing it? And she married another man. She doesn't know the rule. She thought that it is in her hand to reject. Just like if he would have divorced after the 3rd time. Just like if he would have guaranteed her khulu'. He cannot just say, I return you back. No. There has to be, and she has to accept it, and you marry everything. She thought like that. She said, no. No, you never. He witnessed this, she married another man. She said, yes? That's another issue. Barakallahu fi. Barakallahu fi. So, Allah yahfadukum. So, after time, somebody is calling this guy. How you married to? Are you okay? How you married to my wife? Astaghfir, what are you doing, ya akhi? How? He get mad at her. A'udhu billah, you shaytana, what are you doing it? She said, what I did. How you married to another? No, he's not. Tell him, ask him, did I reject him? Ask him. Ask him, did I tell him I'm not accepting? Now the issue will become clear. Okay? So yes, the second is not sinful. The woman also is not sinful if she doesn't know it, and she had no way to know it. Again, we had that rule. Yes. And the previous marriage remain. The second one is not existing at all. Because there is money, there is prevention, which is that she is still in a period, she is in a wife of somebody, for instance. Anyway, so in order something to, the thing to take its rule, there should be the conditions and there shouldn't be mawani. Is this understandable? So therefore you find those khawarij, such leader is a kafir. Why he is kafir? He judged by other than what Allah revealed. Number one, that's not a nullifier. That should be, look, his aqidah, his belief. That's the manhaj of Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. It's just like someone who drinks alcohol. Simply because he drinks alcohol, he's a kafir. This is the belief of Khawarij. Because this is not nullifier. So there has to be nullifier first. Conditions. When the condition is there, yes, actually this leader, he fell into condition. Or he fell into disbelief. Then there shouldn't be mawani. What prevents him from to apply that rule against ignorance, enforcement, and the like. So everything takes that rule. Then the Sheikh said, وَالظَّنُّ فِي الْعِبَادَةِ الْمُعْتَبَرُ وَنَفْسَ الْأَمْرِ فِي الْعُقُودِ اعْتَبَرُ. The assumption في العبادة in the act of worship is considered. What you assume, you really believe. You may not know 100%. When it comes to the ibadah, the act of worship between you and Allah is considered. Rather, that's most of many of the rules. You pray sometimes. In reality, it may not be Maghrib yet. But as long as that's what the mu'adhin believe, that's what you believe. غالب الظن. The majority of your thinking, assumption, is that already the sun set, then you go by that. You believe your cloth is clean. There is actually impurity. But you believe since you wash, from the time you wash, nothing touches of impurity. That's your dhan. That's considered. It's clean. It's clean. Because this is between you and Allah. But when it comes to the contracts, what's being considered is not the assumption, it's the reality. It's what's there. For instance, you sell someone's property without his permission. Okay? Without his permission. Without his permission. The person, he took the stuff, you take the money. Then you came to know after the transaction ended. 5 days passed. You came to know that actually the owner, he assigned you to do that. But you didn't know that. He assigned you to do that. But you didn't know that at that time. Is that transaction functioning or has to be cancelled? It's valid. Because the reality is you are being assigned for that. Okay? A child, he took the money of his father. Yadan billah. Is stealing it. But father died. So he realized that this is his share. This is what he has, actually his share from inheritance. Now, what's the ruling? The reality is this is his wealth. That now is being considered the reality. It's not being considered what he thought, that he was stealing or... Somebody who pray, he make wudu with the water, he thought it's clean. It's pure water. Even though in reality the water is not clean. It's not pure. So you saw him do it, and you were going to tell him, the water you're using, there's impurity in it. It's not clean water. You cannot make wudu with it. But you forget. Maybe you were on a phone talking to someone, maybe busy. Person, he travel. Is his salah valid? It's valid. Because this is what he assumed. This is between him and Allah. Okay. Somebody break the fasting thinking it's the sunset. You come to know that the sun didn't set yet, but you didn't have time to tell him. Is his fasting valid for him? For him it's valid. Because that's غالب الظن, the strongest assumption that the sun set. Even though the reality is not the case. That's not the case. That's not, but it's still between him and Allah is considered. That's mercy from Allah Azza wa Jal. As for a human being, right? No. What's being considered is the reality. For instance, we mentioned actually that one. Then the Shaykh said, لكن إذا تبين الظن خطأ فأبرئ ذمة صحيح الخطأ. However, if the dhann, the assumption, become clear it's wrong, what you assume was wrong, it should be corrected. So you assume it is now, it's night time. So you were having suhoor. This is the dhann. You were having suhoor, eating your food, thinking it's night time. But right away you see the sun. So this dhann is not continuous anymore now. يعني the Shaykh said, then the Shaykh he gave example. كرجل صلى قبيل الوقت فليعد الصلاة بعد الوقت. Someone who prayed before the prayer, right before the prayer time, he prayed. He thought it's prayer time. He entered the salah. He prayed dhuhr. Was 10 minutes before dhuhr time, for instance, or any time before that. He thought it is dhuhr time. Then after that, he sees it's not dhuhr. What should he do? He should make up, or he will not. He has to pray it again because this was wrong. It was wrong. If he wouldn't know, yes. But since he know, then العبرة لا عبرة بالظن البين خطأه. So the assumption in which it's clear it was wrong, no consideration. Somebody who thought the sun set and he break his fasting, and now he see the sun is out. Yes, he's not sinful because he didn't know it, but that thing, assumption, is not anymore. He has to refrain from continuing eating now until the sun sets. So the assumption in the ibadat, the strongest assumption, I don't know, غالب الظن is called, when you believe in the acts of worship, is considered. It takes the same rule of certainty. But when it comes to the rights of the people, no assumption. What's being considered is the reality. طيب. Then the Shaykh said, والشك بعد الفعل لا يؤثر وهكذا إذا الشكوك تكثر. The doubt after the action, it doesn't consider. This is a very important rule. After you do the action, the doubt is not considered. After you finish salah, you doubt. Did you really have it? Did you make ruku' or you didn't make ruku'? You didn't make sujood, you didn't make sujood. After salah, no, don't consider. After you complete the wudu, you doubt. Did you wash the hand? Did you wash the leg, the feet? It's not considered. After. If it's still you are in the ibadah, yes. Still in the act of worship, in the duration of that act, the wudu, you're still making wudu, you doubt, did you wash the feet? Now you need to consider it. Based on what kind of doubt also. We come into that inshallah. But after you've done the act of worship, don't ever think about it. والشك بعد الفعل لا يؤثر هكذا إذا الشكوك تكثر. Somebody who pray, somebody who after he make the tawaf, he circled 7, he tawaf, he doubt, did he make 6, 7, what did he do? He doesn't consider that doubt. After he finished the hajj, he doubt, did you do this or that? He doesn't consider. After making umrah, he doubt. Again, it's a doubt. If it's not doubt, there's a different rule. He doubt after the act of the worship, completion of worship, no consideration for that. Therefore, Prophet said when Sahaba asked somebody who is in Salah, he finds, he is like he assuming that he break the wudu. Yeah, something makes him that feel that still he breaking the wudu. So he pass gas and the like. Prophet said, لا ينصرف حتى يسمع صوتا أو يجد ريحا. The Bukhari Muslim. He will not be out of the prayer. Rather, he continue praying until he hears voice or he smells. Because the certainty is that he finished the wudu. After he finished the wudu, now he doubt. This doubt is not considered. Because you already make wudu. So you don't doubt about the wudu, and you don't doubt about whether you break or you don't break. It's not considered. The Shaykh said likewise, وَهَكَذَا إِذَا الشُّكُوكُ تَكْثُرُ, if this person has too much doubts. That takes the same rule. Somebody who has too much doubt. In wudu he has a doubt. In salah he has a doubt. In fasting he has a doubt. Everywhere he has doubt. This kind of doubt is not considered. Every time he make wudu, he said, did I really make wudu? Did I wash this one? If this is a lot of doubt, then don't consider it. Whenever he pray, he doubt. Did he? Like, وَهَكَذَا إِذَا الشُّكُوكُ تَكْثُرُ. There is worse than that, something called wahm. Something called wahm. What's wahm? Actually, wahm is, let me tell you the example Shaykh Uthaymeen mentioned. But don't laugh. The Shaykh Uthaymeen said, أنه إذا شرب الماء, if he drinks the water, this person who has wahm, you tell him what's the wahm in English? When he drink water and he take a breath, after he says to himself that you divorce your wife one time. Again he drink and he take a breath, he say, okay, the second time you divorce your wife. Okay. Or he reading a book. Whenever he flip a page, he say you divorce one time. And now by the time he finish, my wife is divorced. Some people has this. The Sheikh say هذا أمر واقع. هذا المثال لأنه واقع. Yes. يقول له الشيطان طلقت زوجك في النفس الأول، الطلقة الأولى، والثانية في النفس الثاني، والثالث في النفس الثالث، فهي الآن بائنة منك. وإنما ذكرنا هذا المثال لأنه واقع. حتى إن بعضهم إذا قام يقرأ في القرآن وقلب الأوراق يأتيه الشيطان كلما قلب ورق قال هذه طلقة. So what did you call this? Obsession. Barakallah. Yes? So something has no base to him. He feel that. This one has nothing. It will not be considered. So the doubt is not be considered. The doubt after the action is not considered. The doubt when it's too much is not considered. The doubt after the act of worship is not considered. And also when it's wahm. The person is just is not considered. Last thing to conclude this chapter. ثم حديث النفس معفو فلا حكم له ما لم يؤثر عملا. Then the whispering of the inner speech, what you say to yourself, in your mind, you say something to it, has no effect, except if there is an action, statement or action follows it. something come into your mind, it's not being considered. Something bad come to your mind, you are not be held into account. As long as you don't ignore it, but simply because something come to your mind, you think you lost your watch or your phone or something, and you thought one of the best of the people, because he was around there, he stole it. You have that in your mind. That is not considered. Alhamdulillah, is not punishing for that. As long you don't act, you don't say it, and you don't do action. Yes, in Salah, something comes to your mind. That you had a conversation with this person, he says this to you. You know what, tomorrow do this when he does this to you. Did I hear what he said to me? He said to me this, he conveyed the message from this. This is actually conversation in the Salah. But this is not considered. Because they didn't bring action. It's just something coming to your mind. Okay? So these things is not considered. ما لم يؤثر عمل. As long it doesn't bring amal. Any question or any correction before we conclude? نعم. طيب بارك الله فيك. Question. When someone, a Muslim, in the line, in the Salah, when can he preserve his spot? When he has a right to put his stuff, so nobody sees. Inshallah, we said this, we repeat it. When can you preserve your position in the masjid? Based on the sound hadith is when you sit down. You sit down the place, you can put there. That's your majlis. There's makanul julus. And after that, nobody should sit down there. And even if it happens, somebody by mistake, he sit down there, you come to him and say, Akhi, I was sitting here. I just went to grab the kitab. I needed the wudu bathroom, but this is where I was sitting. He has to stood up. But you enter the masjid, you have a key. I have my key. I just put the key there. And then I go, I make a sunnah. No, that key is wrong to be there. I'm blocking some place which I shouldn't block it. Because this is not my position. Somebody already after the salah, after the adhan, he pray his sunnah at home. Okay? I didn't pray sunnah yet. I'm now praying it. My key is blocking there. Somebody already pray his sunnah. He was more struggling than me. He make his sunnah at home. And he said, catch up the first row. He come now, is blocked. Who came first? The one who came first is this one, the second one. You come first, it doesn't mean I entered the masjid first. That's not coming first. Yes, you come first, but that doesn't qualify you to be the owner of this position. To be the owner of the position, you have to sit down. And you cannot sit down without praying. Which means, unless you are on the same place, you pray on the same place, that's good. But if I cannot, because there is no sutra, I have to go sutra, which I have to apply, alhamdulillah. I go, I make sutra, I take my key, I take my phone, I don't put there anything. After I pray, if the place is empty, walillahi alhamd. Ya ikhwan, this religion, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, is not based on desire. It's obeying Allah azza wa jal. لن ينال الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن يناله التقوى منكم. What reaches Allah is not the blood, is not the flesh of the animal you slaughter. It is the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal. So if somebody slaughters 200 camel, he doesn't do for Allah, Allah doesn't need of that. Allah is not going to accept because it's not based on fear of Allah. So the issue is not physical things. I am the number one. No. I am number one. I'm taking people's property. I'm pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hurt the people. No. We have to remember the reality of the ibadat is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our actions to be based on taqwa, based on fear of Allah Azza, not based on oppression. Now, salah, I hear the salah is about to start. And then I come running. And then I come while I breathe, I can't even walk. Some of us may think we're doing this, we're pleasing Allah Azza. We are not pleasing Allah. we're displeasing Allah. Because Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا أَتَيْتُمُ الصَّلَاةَ فَأْتُوهَا. What was the hadith? Yes? لا. نعم. وعليكم السكينة. وأنتم سكينة, tranquility. You come while you have tranquility. So if I say, no, I'm running and breaking the masjid, I may even fall on someone. لا. No, who am I? What is my point now? Am I going to please Allah Azza wa Jal? Yes, then I should do the way Allah likes. So inshallah, remember, وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ, inshallah. And then we should be patient to one another. We should be patient to one another. يعني alhamdulillah, we should be patient to one another. Every little thing my brother does it shouldn't be my focus on. But alhamdulillah, yes, mistake is corrected. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu wa sallam nabiyina Muhammad.